Good morning. This is John from the Springs Mennonite Church. Here I am, the first day of another week. And in fact, it's the third week that I've been talking about, or I will be talking about, the promises of God. The first week, 2 weeks ago, I talked about promises in the Old Testament. Last week, I talked about promises in the letters of the Bible. And today, I want to begin and spend a week talking about the promises in the Gospels. Now, I assure you, there are a lot more promises than I've covered so far, and a lot more than what I'm going to get to in 5 days. But I picked out a few to think about and perhaps maybe help you in your walk. The one today comes from Luke chapter 11. And Jesus is talking about prayer. And he uses the illustration of a lady who asked for a neighbor from something and got nowhere and kept asking and kept asking and kept asking. And then finally said that the neighbor would give what she wants just to get rid of her. Now, here is the context of someone who won't give up. And in that light, we find this promise from the 11th chapter of Luke and beginning with verse 9. And so I tell you, keep on asking, and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, everyone who seeks finds, and to everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. Now, this is kind of a strange promise, and I think you can misrepresent what it's talking about. As I mentioned, the context is this lady asking for a neighbor, and Jesus says the neighbor will do something just so she won't bother me anymore. And there's a sense that you think Jesus is talking about hassling God until you wear him down. Well, you know, when I was a kid, I thought I could wear down my parents, and maybe I did some. So you might have tried the same thing, or if you have kids, you know how they've tried to wear you down. But you can't wear God down. I mean, that's not the point here. God is God, and you're not. I hate to say it so simply, but that's the way it is. You're not God, and he is. So this is not about wearing God down. This is about something else. I tell you, keep on asking, and you will receive. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the door will be opened. Jesus here is talking about approaching God's throne with a sense of reverence, a sense of urgency, and a sense of belonging. Now, it's this latter part that's critical in understanding this passage. We belong to God when we give our lives to him. We may not act that way. We may not live that way. We may not talk that way. But the bottom line is we belong to God. And because God says, you belong to me, then when you have something that you need to talk to him about, you have the privilege and the honor and the ability to go straight to God and talk to him. Now, here's the problem. You and I, as human beings, if we recognize the majesty of God, we also minimize the majesty of ourselves. You see, human beings are the highest of the created order. And there's a reason why we were created last. And there's a reason why God said, after the creation of man and woman, it was very, very good. He allows us to come to him and share our problems, our difficulties, our concerns. And we need to understand we have a right to do that because he's given it to us. He's given us the freedom to come and ask. Now, if you ask one time and you get a nothing of an answer, then ask again. Well, if you ask twice and you still got nothing, ask again. And if you've asked 4 times and got not what you were hoping for or not what you thought was happening, ask again. And it says here, keep on knocking and the door will be open. Keep on asking and you will receive. Keep on trying and you will get the reward. It's not that God is capricious and wants to humor us with little goodies here and there. It's not that he wants to keep us on a string and jerk our chain every once in a while. It's just that when we ask for something, it might not be the right time. It might not be the right circumstance. We don't know that because all we got is the moment we're living in. But God's got the whole expansion of time and history. And he knows what fits together when. So he encourages us, implores us to ask, knock, and keep on doing that. Every person who continues to beseech God will get the answer. Now, it might not be the answer they want, but it will be the answer that's the best answer and the only best answer. So when you're wondering, what am I doing? Is this prayer working? Remember this passage, this promise. Of course it's working. Well, I don't want to be a pain in God's side. You can't be. You just can't. I don't want to just hound God. Don't worry about it. You can't hound him. You can't ask enough. God loves you and me so much that he allows us to talk to him and ask things and question things and live the life we have here that represents him. If you don't question, how are you ever going to learn? If you don't ask and not get the immediate response you want, how are you ever going to know what the right response might be? The promise here is, and I'll read it again, whoever asks receives, whoever seeks finds, and everyone who knocks, the door will be open. You're not alone. You're not in this life all by yourself. Don't live like you are. Well, thanks for listening. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a wonderful week. I'll be back tomorrow and share some more thoughts. If you have a need or a prayer concern, let us know. We'll do everything we can as fast as we can to help meet your need. God bless you. I'll talk to you again.